The stadium lights were blinding, the crowd was roaring, and the scoreboard told a story nobody was ready for. Jaguars 26, Panthers 10, but beyond the numbers, beyond the ESPN headline, there was something far more explosive brewing on that field. A storm of emotions, hidden rivalries, and a shocking twist centered around none other than Travis Hunter. Fans came for football, but what they witnessed felt more like a live episode of a reality TV showdown. Because while Hunter's stat line looked ordinary, 6 receptions, 33 yards, and even a defensive tackle, what unfolded behind the scenes was anything but. Whispers of locker room betrayal, sideline confrontations, and accusations that could shake an entire franchise to its core began surfacing. Was this just another game or the start of a scandal that could divide not only teammates, but families and fan bases alike? People in the stands claimed they saw Hunter shouting on the sidelines, pointing fingers, and walking off with a glare that could cut through steel. Cameras missed it, but insiders swear it happened. And now questions are flooding in. Did Travis Hunter's frustration boil over? Did the Jaguars' victory come at a hidden cost? The night may have ended with the Jaguars celebrating a convincing 26-10 victory over the Panthers. But if you looked closely, you could see that something darker was lurking beneath the surface. The cameras caught smiles, hugs, and fireworks. But what they didn't show was the tension simmering on the Jaguars sideline, especially surrounding Travis Hunter. To most fans, he was just a rookie putting in steady numbers with 6 catches for 33 yards and even showing grit with a tackle. But to those who knew what was really going on, his performance was the tip of the iceberg. Sources close to the team whispered that Travis was playing with a heavy heart. Before kickoff, he had an explosive argument with a close family member in the tunnel. The words were sharp, and according to an eyewitness, Travis stormed onto the field already furious, muttering under his breath about betrayal. "Don't ever talk to me like that again," he allegedly said, his voice echoing off the concrete walls. Teammates noticed his mood, but nobody dared step in. As the first quarter unfolded, Hunter was visibly frustrated. Every time quarterback Trevor Lawrence looked his way, Hunter fought desperately to create space, to make a big play, to prove a point to someone who clearly wasn't even on the field. When one of his early passes fell incomplete, cameras caught him slamming his helmet down and mouthing something no one could quite decipher. Fans on social media immediately noticed. Some claimed he was yelling at his quarterback, while others believed his frustration was with the coaching staff. But what fans didn't realize was that inside the Jaguars locker room, there were already whispers of division. Certain players reportedly believed Hunter wasn't being used to his full potential, and Hunter himself had started to feel sidelined. "They brought me here for a reason, and now I'm being treated like a decoy," he was overheard telling a teammate earlier in the week. The pressure was mounting, and the victory against the Panthers did nothing to cool the fire. During the second quarter, tension spilled into the open. After catching a short pass for a meager gain, Hunter jogged back to the sideline only to be met with a cold shoulder from one of the assistant coaches. Fans in the stands swear they saw the two exchange heated words. "You don't respect me," Hunter allegedly spat, his voice sharp enough to pierce through the roaring crowd. The coach's response was drowned out, but witnesses claimed his face was red with anger. From that point on, every sideline shot of Hunter looked more like a scene from a reality TV show than a professional football game. By halftime, the Jaguars led comfortably, but Hunter's emotions were spiraling. Inside the locker room, according to an anonymous player, Hunter had a blow-up argument with a veteran wide receiver. "You think you're the star around here, but you're not," the veteran reportedly shouted. Hunter shot back with equal venom, saying, "Then why do fans chant my name? Why does the media care about me more than you?" The confrontation nearly escalated into a physical fight before teammates stepped in. One insider described the scene as chaos, pure chaos, with half the locker room trying to calm things down while the other half watched in stunned silence. The family drama that had ignited before the game only added fuel to the fire. Sources revealed that Travis's younger brother had accused him of forgetting where he came from. Those words apparently hit hard, cutting deeper than any defensive coverage ever could. Hunter felt torn between proving himself in the NFL and holding on to the relationships that mattered most. And as the second half began, that conflict seemed to spill into every move he made on the field. When the Jaguars scored again to extend their lead, Hunter was seen sitting apart from his teammates, staring blankly into the distance. Fans immediately began speculating online, with some suggesting he was angry about not being part of the scoring drive, while others believed he was distracted by something much bigger. "He looks broken," one fan tweeted. "Like he's fighting a battle none of us can see." As the fourth quarter began, Hunter made a crucial catch on third down that kept the Jaguars' momentum alive. But instead of celebrating with his teammates, he pointed toward the stands, where a small group of family members sat. Eyewitnesses claimed his gesture wasn't one of joy, it was one of defiance. "That was for you," he mouthed, his eyes burning with intensity. The cameras didn't zoom in close enough, but those who were there swear they'll never forget the look on his face. After the game ended, chaos erupted again. While the rest of the Jaguars celebrated in the locker room, Hunter reportedly refused to join. Instead, he paced the hallway, phone pressed tightly to his ear, his voice raised so loud that people nearby could hear every word. "You don't control me anymore," he shouted. "I'll live my life how I want." Nobody knew who he was speaking to, but speculation quickly spread that it was a family member at the center of the earlier drama. Even outside the stadium, the drama followed him. Fans waiting for autographs claimed Hunter walked straight past. Then, without a glance, his jaw clenched, his eyes fixed ahead. One fan shouted encouragement, but Hunter didn't respond. Instead, he muttered something under his breath and disappeared into the team bus stop. By the time ESPN aired the highlights, none of this was mentioned. To the wider public, it was just another Jaguars win. But those who were close enough to see and hear what really happened knew that something much larger was brewing. Hunter wasn't just battling defenders on the field, he was battling his own emotions, his relationships, and maybe even his place within the team. Rumors began swirling that certain teammates were growing frustrated with the constant spotlight on him. "We all work hard, but it's like the cameras only care about him," one anonymous Jaguars player allegedly told a reporter. Others, however, sympathized with him, pointing out that the pressure of being a high-profile rookie can break even the strongest personalities. And so, while the Jaguars left the field with a victory, the story that fans couldn't stop talking about was the unraveling of Travis Hunter right before their eyes. Every gesture, every glare, every overheard word turned into fuel for speculation. Was he angry at his coaches? At his teammates? Or was the real battle happening within his own family, threatening to tear apart everything he had worked so hard to build? The truth remained murky, but one thing was undeniable. The Jaguars' win over the Panthers wasn't just about football. It was about pride, betrayal, and the kind of raw emotion that makes fans feel like they're watching a live soap opera instead of a Sunday night game. And as the stadium lights dimmed and the headlines rolled in, a new question lingered in the air. How long could Travis Hunter keep playing through the storm before everything around him came crashing down? The question of how long Travis Hunter could keep playing through the storm was already beginning to answer itself in the days that followed. While Jaguars fans celebrated the big win and the media replayed highlights on loop, inside the locker room and within Hunter's personal life, the cracks were widening. Teammates who had tried to stay neutral were suddenly being pulled into the mess, and what should have been a week of celebration turned into something resembling a family feud. Episode. Reports surfaced almost immediately that Hunter skipped a post-game team dinner organized by the veterans. Instead, he was spotted at a late-night restaurant downtown with a small group of friends and family. Diners at the restaurant claimed the atmosphere at his table was tense. One witness described Hunter leaning over the table, his voice raised. "You don't understand the pressure I'm under," he allegedly snapped. Another person at the table fired back, "You've changed, Travis. You forgot who helped you get here." The argument became so heated that other customers turned to stare, their phones out, recording what they could. Within hours, clips began circulating online. The internet was divided. Some fans defended him, arguing that every athlete deserves privacy and that family disputes shouldn't become public entertainment. Others, however, were quick to judge, accusing him of being ungrateful and letting fame get to his head. "He's got 6 catches and 33 yards, and he's already acting like a diva," one critic wrote on social media. The backlash grew, and suddenly, the narrative shifted from his on-field performance to his off-field drama inside the Jaguars facility. The tension only grew worse. An assistant coach reportedly called Hunter into a private meeting, urging him to keep his emotions in check. But sources say Hunter didn't take it well. "You're not listening to me," he allegedly said during the meeting, his tone sharp. "I've been holding everything in, and no one here cares what I'm going through." The coach tried to calm him down, but Hunter stormed out, slamming the door so hard it rattled down the hallway. By midweek, teammates began choosing sides. Some of the younger players who looked up to Hunter sympathized with his struggles and defended him in conversations. "He's under a microscope," one rookie explained. "People expect him to be perfect, but he's human too." Others, however, weren't so forgiving. One veteran wide receiver reportedly told a group of teammates he thinks he's bigger than the team. Let's see how long that lasts. Things took another turn when Hunter's family drama spilled further into the spotlight. His younger brother, the same one who had accused him of forgetting where he came from, posted a cryptic message on social media. It read, "Fame exposes the truth. Some people ain't who they pretend to be." Fans immediately connected the dots, speculating that the message was directed at Travis. The post gained thousands of shares, and soon the family feud was trending. Hunter tried to ignore it, but those close to him say the message hit him hard. During practice, he looked distracted, his movements less sharp, his focus scattered. Teammates noticed him muttering to himself, shaking his head after plays. "It was like he wasn't even there," one insider revealed. His body was on the field, but his mind was somewhere else entirely, and then came the breaking point. During a midweek scrimmage, Hunter reportedly clashed with Trevor Lawrence, the team's quarterback. After a miscommunication on a route, Hunter threw his hands up in frustration. "You never trust me with the deep ball," he shouted loud enough for others to hear. Lawrence, usually calm and collected, didn't back down. "You gotta earn that trust, man," he fired back. The argument escalated until coaches had to step in, pulling the two apart before it got out of hand. Players described the scene as uncomfortable and awkward, with some worrying that the rift could divide the entire offense. The media soon caught wind of the argument, and headlines began spinning out of control. Talk shows debated whether Hunter was becoming a locker room distraction. Analysts who once praised his versatility were now questioning his maturity. One commentator summed it up: "Talent isn't enough if you can't handle the spotlight." The Jaguars might have a storm brewing within their own walls. Meanwhile, Hunter's family continued adding fuel to the fire. His mother, in a rare public statement, pleaded for peace. "Travis is still finding his way," she said. "He's young, he's under pressure, and he needs support, not judgment." While her words softened some critics, others pointed out. But the family seemed divided, and her comments only confirmed what many already suspected, that Hunter's struggles weren't just professional, but deeply personal. Fans were left stunned when just days before the Jaguars' next game, Hunter skipped a scheduled charity event he had been heavily promoted to attend. The excuse given was personal matters, but whispers circulated that he had gotten into another heated argument with family earlier that day. Eyewitnesses claimed to have seen him leaving his apartment in a rage, slamming the door so hard the entire building shook. At this point, the drama was too big to ignore. ESPN devoted entire segments to the Travis Hunter saga, with pundits debating whether the Jaguars could keep him under control. Some framed him as a victim of impossible expectations, while others painted him as a self-absorbed rookie unraveling under pressure. Either way, the story dominated headlines, overshadowing the Jaguars' victory and their upcoming matchup. The climax of the week came during a team dinner hosted by head coach Doug Peterson. The goal was to bring the players together, to mend fences and rebuild unity. But instead, it turned into another explosive moment. Multiple sources confirmed that Hunter and the veteran wide receiver he clashed with at halftime the previous game reignited their feud. Over plates of steak and pasta, the veteran made a sarcastic remark. "Maybe next week the cameras will actually catch you making a big play." Hunter, already on edge, fired back immediately. "Say that again and we'll see who's really the star here." The room went silent as the two locked eyes, and several players had to step in to prevent a physical altercation. One player who witnessed the confrontation later described it. "It felt like we weren't at a team dinner. We were on some reality TV reunion special." Everybody was tense, waiting for someone to flip the table. After the dinner disaster, the Jaguars' locker room was described as fractured. Some players avoided Hunter entirely while others tried to comfort him, warning that the media storm wasn't going to die down anytime soon. Hunter himself seemed caught in the middle, torn between defending his pride and realizing he was on the verge of losing the trust of his teammates. And through it all, the family drama refused to fade. His younger brother doubled down with another cryptic post: "The world will see the truth soon." Fans speculated endlessly, wondering what secret he was hinting at. Was there something deeper about Hunter's personal life that hadn't yet come to light? What had started as a promising rookie performance and a solid Jaguars win was now spiraling into something much bigger, a story no longer about football but about pride, betrayal, and the fine line between success and self-destruction. As the week closed, one question loomed larger than any other. Would Travis Hunter find a way to mend the relationships around him? Or was this the beginning of a downfall that could define his entire rookie season? As the days ticked by, the cryptic posts from Travis Hunter's younger brother became impossible to ignore. Fans dissected every word, turning his vague statements into viral theories. Some believed he was hinting at financial disputes within the family. Others suggested there was a hidden betrayal involving friends or even teammates. Whatever the case, the suspense was unbearable, and the narrative around Hunter shifted from football drama to a full-blown scandal that felt ripped straight from a reality show. Behind closed doors, the Jaguars' front office was in damage control mode. According to insiders, team officials urged Hunter to release a public statement clarifying the situation. But Hunter refused. "I'm not airing out my business for everyone to consume," he reportedly told a team rep. "If my family wants to talk, let them talk. I'm not stooping to that level." While his stance seemed principled, it only fueled speculation further. Fans began questioning his silence. If he has nothing to hide, why doesn't he speak up? One post read, "The whispers turned into loud conversations, and soon sports radio shows were dominated by callers debating Hunter's loyalty to his family versus his loyalty to the team." One caller summed it up: "You can't play at your best if you're fighting wars at home." And right now, Travis looks like a soldier losing ground on all sides. The tension reached a boiling point when, during the next Jaguars practice, Hunter reportedly clashed again, this time not with a player but with a member of the coaching staff. Witnesses said the coach criticized Hunter's body language, telling him he needed to act like a professional. Hunter's response stunned everyone nearby. "Professional? You don't know what I'm dealing with." His voice cracked as if the weight of his personal life was finally spilling into the open. Teammates described the moment as raw and painful, with some walking away to avoid getting caught in the crossfire. Later that night, another bombshell dropped. Hunter's younger brother went live on social media with thousands tuning in. During the live session, he didn't mention Travis by name, but his words left little room for doubt. "You think you know someone?" he said, his tone dripping with resentment. But fame changes people. It makes them forget the promises they made. It makes them forget who sacrificed for them. Viewers flooded the comments, demanding clarity. Some begged him to reveal more, while others accused him of clout chasing. Either way, the live stream ended abruptly, leaving more questions than answers. The fallout was immediate. Sports blogs picked up the story, spinning it into headlines that made it seem like Travis was abandoning his family altogether. The pressure grew unbearable, and Hunter could feel it closing in on him like a storm. Teammates whispered behind his back, fans speculated endlessly, and the media smelled blood in the water. The breaking point came during the Jaguars' team walkthrough before their upcoming game. Eyewitnesses reported that Hunter broke down in the middle of the field, throwing his helmet and shouting, "I can't take this anymore." Practice was halted, coaches rushed in, and teammates stood in stunned silence. One player described the scene: "It was like watching a star implode right in front of us. All the pressure, all the drama just exploded out of him." But the story didn't end there. Hours later, another twist emerged. A leaked audio recording began circulating online. In the clip, believed to be from the post-game phone call Hunter had after the Panthers game, his voice can be heard shouting, "You don't control me anymore, I'll live my life how I want." The authenticity of the recording was never confirmed, but fans instantly connected it to his brother's accusations. Who exactly was he talking to? Was it family? An old friend? Or someone else entirely? The speculation was endless, and the Scandal only deepened. The Jaguars organization tried desperately to contain the fallout. REPO RTS claimed team officials held a private meeting with Hunter, warning him that the drama was overshadowing the team's season. But Hunter, exhausted and defensive, pushed back. "You think this is about football? This is my life. And I'm not going to pretend everything's fine when it's not." At this point, even the fans were divided. Some rallied behind him, creating hashtags like #StandWithTravis and praising his vulnerability. Others were less forgiving, labeling him a distraction and questioning whether he was ready for the demands of professional football. The family feud continued escalating when, days later, Hunter's brother released another cryptic statement, this time tagging Travis directly. It read, "Don't make me show the receipts." The internet exploded with theories. What receipts? Were there text messages, financial documents, photos? The tension was unbearable and everyone waited for the next shoe to drop. Meanwhile, inside the Jaguars locker room, Hunter's relationships grew more strained. During a film session, a teammate reportedly made a sarcastic joke about being too busy for family drama. Hunter snapped instantly, shouting across the room, "Say that again and see what happens." Coaches had to step in to de-escalate. But the damage was done. The room felt fractured, players taking sides in a war that had nothing to do with the playbook. Fans attending the next game noticed something chilling. During warm-ups, Hunter seemed disconnected, pacing back and forth, barely interacting with teammates. When he finally took the field, his face carried a look of intensity, almost desperation. He played hard, catching passes with ferocity, but every celebration seemed hollow. At one point, after a crucial third-down conversion, he once again pointed. To his stands this time, though, there was no family present. Instead, he pointed to an empty section, as if addressing someone who wasn't there. After the game, reporters pressed him about the gesture, but he brushed off the questions. "I'm just focused on football," he said, his tone flat and unconvincing. The response only added fuel to the fire, with commentators speculating that he was directing the gesture at his brother, his family, or maybe even the critics online. The drama was no longer confined to Hunter's inner circle. It became a national talking point, dominating sports talk shows and late-night comedy alike. Memes flooded social media, some mocking him, others defending him. One viral post compared his rookie season to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but with shoulder pads. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. During a post-game press conference, the veteran wide receiver who had been feuding with Hunter made a shocking revelation. When asked about the locker room dynamic, he smirked and said, "Let's just say some guys are more worried about their personal soap operas than winning games." The jab was thinly veiled, but everyone knew who he was talking about. Reporters immediately pounced, pressing him for more details, but he refused to elaborate. Hunter's reaction was explosive. Sources say he confronted the veteran in the locker room afterward, shouting, "Keep my name out of your mouth." The two had to be separated yet again, with teammates stepping in to prevent a full-on fight. The incident leaked to the media, within hours turning the Jaguars into the hottest and most chaotic storyline in the NFL. Fans were left reeling. What had started as a promising rookie season for Travis Hunter had spiraled into a circus of family betrayal, locker room feuds, and leaked recordings. The only question now was how far this saga would go, and whether Hunter could survive the storm or if it would consume everything he had worked for. The storm that had been building around Travis Hunter finally erupted in spectacular fashion. And by the time it was over, fans were left wondering if they had just witnessed the collapse of a rising star or the beginning of an unbelievable redemption arc. The breaking point came not on the field, but online. After weeks of cryptic messages, Travis's younger brother finally delivered on his threat. Late one night, he posted screenshots of private text conversations that allegedly showed heated arguments between himself and Travis. In the messages, Travis appeared to dismiss his brother's concerns about family responsibilities, saying things like, "I have to focus on me now, and you don't understand what it takes to be here." Whether the screenshots were authentic or manipulated didn't matter. Within minutes, they spread like wildfire. Hashtags trended overnight, with fans split between sympathy and outrage. Some fans defended him, pointing out that every athlete has to make sacrifices, and that success always comes with difficult choices. Others, however, accused him of abandoning the very people who helped him rise to fame. "He's not just playing against defenses," one critic tweeted. "He's playing against his own family and losing." The Jaguars organization was thrown into chaos. The front office, desperate to contain the fallout, reportedly summoned Travis to a closed-door meeting. Insiders claimed the atmosphere was tense, with team executives demanding answers. "We can't have this circus around our team," one official allegedly told him. Hunter, however, refused to apologize for his choices. "I didn't ask to be dragged into this," he said, his voice firm. "I just want to play football, but people won't leave me alone." Meanwhile, in the locker room, patience was running thin. The veteran wide receiver, who had already been feuding with Hunter, saw the leaked texts as confirmation of his suspicions. "He's selfish," he reportedly told teammates. "It's always about him, never about us." Younger players, however, continued to rally around Hunter, insisting that he was being unfairly targeted. The division inside the team grew sharper, and whispers began that the Jaguars' season was in danger of imploding. The drama reached its most public stage during the Jaguars' next home game. As Hunter took the field, a section of the crowd began chanting his name, but another section booed loudly, their voices cutting through the stadium like knives. Cameras caught Hunter glancing toward the stands, his face tightening with visible emotion. He played with ferocity, catching passes and throwing himself into blocks, but every move seemed fueled by rage rather than joy. In the third quarter, after a contested catch near the sideline, Hunter popped up and screamed, not at the defender, not at the referees, but seemingly at the crowd itself. "You don't know me," he shouted, his voice picked up faintly on field microphones. The outburst stunned fans and instantly went viral. Clips were played endlessly with captions like "Travis Hunter versus the world." After the game, which the Jaguars narrowly won, Hunter refused to speak to reporters. Instead, he stormed out of the stadium, once again on the phone, once again visibly upset. Witnesses claimed he was shouting into the receiver, his words sharp and cutting. "Stop dragging me down," he yelled. "If you love me, let me live my life." Nobody could say for sure who he was talking to, but the speculation was endless. The family feud took an even darker turn when his brother, emboldened by the public attention, went live again. This time, he was furious. "You want the truth?" he said to thousands of viewers. "The truth is, Travis doesn't care about family anymore. It's all about fame. It's all about money. He'll smile for the cameras, but behind the scenes, he's not the person you think he is." The accusations hit hard, and while some dismissed them as jealousy, others took them as gospel. Hunter, reportedly devastated, finally broke his silence with a cryptic post of his own. "Blood should mean loyalty," he wrote, "but sometimes the people closest to you cut the deepest." The message was vague but powerful, and fans flooded the comments with support, urging him to keep his head up. Yet even as sympathy grew, the divisions were clear. The Hunter family drama had become a public spectacle, and there was no turning back. Inside the Jaguars locker room, the situation became untenable. One practice ended in chaos after the veteran wide receiver mocked Hunter under his breath, muttering, "Here comes the drama." Hunter snapped instantly, lunging at him before teammates restrained him. "You don't know what I'm going through," he shouted, his voice breaking. Coaches separated them, but the damage was done. The feud was now physical, and the team was on edge. Head coach Doug Peterson, usually calm and collected, was forced to intervene. He reportedly pulled both players into his office, demanding, "Peace, we can't win like this," he told them. But the tension between them was too deep, and neither side was willing to back down. The locker room, once unified, now felt like a powder keg, waiting to explode. As the weeks went on, the Jaguars continued winning, but the shadow of Hunter's drama loomed over every game. Commentators couldn't resist bringing it up, fans couldn't stop debating it, and even opposing teams started using it as trash talk on the field. One Panthers defender was overheard mocking Hunter during the rematch. "Hey man, need your brother to run this route for you?" The jab cut deep, and Hunter responded with even more aggressive play. Though his frustration was visible with every snap, the climax of the saga came when Hunter's mother, the one person who had stayed relatively quiet, finally spoke up again. In an emotional television interview, she tearfully begged for peace. "This has gone too far," she said. "He's my son, and he's still just a young man trying to figure things out. Please stop tearing him apart." Her words struck a chord, softening some critics, but for others, the damage was already done. Through it all, Hunter kept playing. His stats weren't jaw-dropping, but his effort was undeniable. Fans began to notice the pain in his eyes, the way he carried himself as if the weight of the world rested on his shoulders. Memes and jokes gave way to empathy, with some fans admitting they had underestimated how much he was dealing with. The season ended with the Jaguars in playoff contention. But the bigger story wasn't about wins and losses, it was about the emotional roller coaster of Travis Hunter. Would he reconcile with his family? Would he regain the trust of his teammates? Or would the drama consume him entirely? The saga left everyone divided. Some saw him as a tragic figure, caught between fame and family, trying to hold it all together. Others saw him as reckless, too immature to handle the spotlight. But one thing was clear, Travis Hunter's rookie season had become more than football. It had become the ultimate drama, a story of betrayal, loyalty, and survival in the harshest spotlight imaginable. And as the cameras faded and the season came to a close, one question lingered louder than all the rest. Would Travis Hunter rise above the chaos, or would the chaos define him forever? The Jaguars may have taken down the Panthers on the scoreboard, but the real battle wasn't fought in the end zone. It was fought in the heart and soul of Travis Hunter. From cryptic posts to locker room explosions, from sideline glares to family betrayals, his rookie season became less about yards and touchdowns and more about survival in the eye of a storm. Fans watched in shock as every week unraveled like a new episode of a never-ending drama, leaving everyone asking the same haunting question: was this the making of a superstar or the unraveling of one? Teammates divided, family fractured, and an entire fan base left holding its breath. This wasn't just NFL football, it was raw emotion laid bare. And even now, as the dust settles, so much remains unresolved. Will Travis Hunter mend the bond with his brother, or has the divide grown too deep to fix? Can he regain the trust of his locker room, or will whispers of selfishness shadow his career? And perhaps the most important question of all, how much longer can a young man carry the weight of fame, family, and expectation before it all comes crashing down? But now it's your turn to step into the drama. Do you think Travis Hunter will rise above the chaos and prove everyone wrong, or is this just the beginning of a downfall we'll never forget? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your theories, your takes, and your predictions. And if you don't want to miss a single twist in this unbelievable saga, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because trust us, the story of Travis Hunter is far from over, and the next chapter might just be the wildest yet.